All right, guys, let's talk about one of our favorite horses in training right now. Modern Games shows up, and hey, we get to make the joke again. We got to cash the bet on Modern Games. This year, he wins the Breeders' Cup Mile. Aaron, I'll go to you first. At what point did you know Modern Games has got this? We're finally going to cash a bet on him.
Ooh, not very much of the race. And I think that because he was way behind, and then when he swung for home, he was so wide. But about mid-stretch, I started yelling, and Somich can confirm, I started yelling, the big horse is coming. And boy, did he ever. He came with a big flurry there at the end. And once, like I said, once he got going and I could tell, okay, he's got his footing and he's straightening it out now and it's going to be fine. I knew he was going to win, but it took till about mid-stretch before I was real confident. Because let's face it, him and Kinross both, they did not get the easiest of trips in here, and they really came flying home late.
Yeah, I thought Kinross was the best horse. I thought Kinross was the best horse in this race based on the trip he got and the move that he made and how far outside he was. And just the entire race never got to save a lick of ground. And it was making a monster move on the outside down the lane. Was never going to get to Modern Games because Modern Games got a better trip. And Modern Games' trip wasn't great, but got a better trip and got the jump on him. It's one of those where I picked Kinross before the Breeders' Cup, and it was so frustrating to see that 13 post pop up because I wanted to stay with Kinross, and then you get 9-1 on the race day, and the trip it's tough. Every double-digit horse at Keeneland had a difficult time this entire weekend. That's one of the stories of the weekend, just how hard it was to make trips from the outside.
There's a lot of times we could say, boy, the post got that horse beat. I'm with you, Somich. I think this is one of those times because here's the difference. They both were very wide on that far turn. But Modern Games saved a lot of ground from his more of an inside of the post where, like you just said, Kinross was not able to save as much from that 13-hole. That probably made the difference. I think those two were the two best horses in the race. And Cheryl Spite, who's just a Keeneland, specialist, was able to sneak up there and get second and knock me out of a huge straight exacta, which was kind of another story of the Breeders' Cup running. If I needed exacta, I'm going to run 1-3. If I need a try, I'm going to run 1-2-4. And that's kind of how that went.
Yeah, that was a cold exacta for me too, and that one did not feel great when it was Cheryl Spite, who's Saez and 56-1 is the horse that gets you. One that I never even considered, and I probably wouldn't consider again if they ran the race 5 more times. I mean, it's just not a horse that I was going to use in this spot with some of these horses that were coming over. A little disappointed in a couple in here. I thought Pogo ran pretty well, being so close to the pace. We didn't see a lot of turf speed hold on going 2 turns at all in any of these races. Really disappointed in Dreamloper. I don't know what happened there. I thought with the post coming out of the 3-hole, Dreamloper should be able to run a big race, had good position, and just backed up something fierce here.
Just didn't fire. Yeah. Just did not fire at all. Same with Annapolis. Got way behind, didn't get that trip that he got last time out over that Keeneland course. Got the complete opposite trip. I never even saw him, and then I heard the announcer call him in 11th. I said he'll have no shot from there. Regal Gloria, horse we kind of thought might sneak up and run better at a decent price. Nothing from her. And I think the whole theme of the weekend, except for the sprint, obviously, when it comes to the turf races, the American horses just weren't good enough. These horses showed up and ran huge. All credit in the world to Cheryl Spite. Now, that one ran fantastic, but look, Kinross was third. Ivar, kind of a over here based horse, but then Malathath, and then Order of Australia, then Pogo. I mean, even the also rans were a little bit better than some of our top ones.
Yeah.
Well, hats off. Go ahead, Mike.
We just dominated all weekend on turf. And even in the sprints, there's one turf sprint where we had a Caravel wins at 42-1. The other one, 3 of the top 4 Europeans in the 2-year-old turf sprint. So it's not even like the turf sprint was this dominant performance. Now, that one, I would argue, it's a lot of post position dependence there because there were 3 outside speed horses that destroyed that field, and it was just a collapse type race, which you don't see often going 5.5 on the turf.
See, that's another race where maybe the top contenders weren't drawn to the outside, but because of the way it was drawn, the race unfolded a certain way. Right?
Yep.
Because the speed all to the outside, and they all had the same mindset of, well, we're outside speed. We just got to go. And then all of a sudden it's like a free for all when you turn for home.
Yeah. They go 21 and change. The inside speed ends up behind a wall of horses, doesn't respond well. And it's all about the collapse horses at that point.
Yep.
Hats off to trainer Roger Atfield, not only to get Cheryl Spite to almost win at 55-1, but earlier in the day, Lady Spite Spear in the Filly Mare Turf got third, and she was a bomb as well. So good to see him showing up. A great trainer up north at Woodbine. Let us know what you thought about the mile. So many great horses, so many ways you could have gone. I see some people in the chat loaded up on Cheryl Spite, and we're able to hit that exacta. So congrats to you if you did. Let us know what you thought in the comments. We'll see you at the track.